औरतें रोती है, मर्द गुस्सा करते हैं.
हाँ.
इज वेरी क्लियर बाइफर्केशन.
हाँ.
क्यों, किसने किया पता नहीं.
औरतें भी गुस्सा करती हैं.
हाँ, बट मर्द भी रो सकते हैं ना. वही तो पॉइंट है कि किसी जेंडर का कोई इमोशन नहीं है. इमोशन सबका है. हमने बांटा हुआ है. हमने बंटवारा किया कि औरतों को दुख मिला है, मर्दों को सुख मिला है. लाइक ये हमारा डिसीजन है. वी हैव मेड दिस बंटवारा of emotions the way we have made बंटवारा of colors. We have made बंटवारा of everything. When you ask someone like how are you doing, genuinely ask that question. पूछने के लिए मत पूछो. Sit with that person, go through it.
Sometimes we are very reluctant to
learn,
to know other perspectives and have that bird's eye view of different things which are happening. That learning approach is very important.
In today's world where the world is not binary, where there are more than one gender, right? We need to first learn and understand that what is it to be a good human.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Unfiltered Conversations, and today's episode is really exciting because we deeply connect with the creator ecosystem, and I learned so much about how and what goes behind creating a company called We Are Yuva, which is into not only creating impact for the youth but also creating a safe space for men to talk about their journey, their hardships, and what they truly feel.
The mastermind behind We Are Yuva is Nikhil Taneja. I'm helping him to build what we call as an empathy empire. Because when we started the company, we had this idea that a lot of young people are lonely, a lot of people have mental health issues. We need more gender equal spaces in the world. And Nikhil and I both believe in understanding that there are a lot of problems, but who's finding solutions for them? And that's how Yuva started as a whole.
Somebody working in the impact space where you've worked with more than like thousands of, I think, lakhs of students in the past. So I want to know that, is it because of the family or childhood or the upbringing which made you choose this path?
So where it started from was like a lot to do with childhood, right? Ki लहानपणी कसं होतं. And I remember I moved from Satara to Pune. And when I moved to Pune, right, I went into this school where I was an outcast. And the reason I was an outcast was because I was a very soft, sweet, humble kid. And I was grown up with a bunch of women around me. So they never told me not to show emotions. I was a very sweet, humble kid while growing up. When I got into school, I got bullied for being nice. I got bullied for being kind as a human being. And then I decided, like, you know, I'm not going to get bullied. I'm going to be the bully. And I did a very typical young men thing. I went to Bollywood to find inspiration from. And in Bollywood, what taught me was, if you're getting bullied, go to gym, build body, six-pack abs, and then beat people up left, right, and center. And that's what I started doing. For a longer period of time, I was the bully. I have beaten people up, full that scenes in movies, that where you go in a college and then you're hitting someone. I have been one of those guys. Till a point which came in my life that I realized this is not who I am originally. This is not what my mother, my friends around me raised to be, and why has this change become in me? And that's a journey that started to finding who I am. And while I was doing that, I went through mental health crisis. I went to places where I was extremely anxious as a human being. And at the same time, when I found this company where we could talk about mental health, we could talk about impact, and that's how the switch in my career happened.
But is it because, you know, when you were growing up and in schools usually, ऐसा होता कि there is another phenomena about masculinity, you know, like the way you said, throwing stones or something. Even I was like that I made a gang of boys with me, and then I used to bully certain people because I thought that, you know, I need to be the protector and then just go beat them up and or do that stuff, and it doesn't like suit my character or something. And my mom used to be like, what are you doing in school? And then I used to come on horse to the school.
Oh, that's interesting. You're like Jay from Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na.
No, later on, no, that doesn't look nice. So, how much it has to be inherited in the education system of being okay with you being a human, like how that human connection has to be established in our educational system.
The people that you have around you, right, will ultimately define who you become. And that's what has happened with me as well. Like when I said, right, ki I was a upon manto ki Shah Rukh Khan is a man written by women,
Yeah.
and he embodies that personality. I believe I'm a man raised by women. The mother used to tell all of us to pick up the plates. It was never ki the three girls will pick up the plate and Yash will sit. So
Yeah.
inherently, I started
Yeah.
doing that
Yeah.
very casually. I never knew that this is gender equality. I never knew this was them just treating me as an equal with everyone because I was growing up with these women in my life.
Correct.
When I grew up, right, when I came to Pune, when I started seeing the culture outside, people started looking at me differently because I never looked at them as other genders, right? Like my mom always said, ki stop differentiating between who is a man, who is a woman. Start
Correct.
looking them as a human being. It's as simple as that.
Correct.
In today's world where the world is not binary, where there are more than one genders, right?
Correct.
We need to first learn and understand that what is it to be a good human. And for you to be a good human, you need to have a good human connection. When you have a good human connection, the society that is building around you, the society that the connections that you're building around will define what kind of a human you become. And when you have that personality embedded, then it shows what kind of a character building is happening onto you. So it all goes down to who you sit with, who you have that one cup of chai with, or who you go down for a walk with, and how different ideologies come together to form something of your own.
Correct. Also, it's also how much you can absorb. Like sometimes we are very reluctant to
Yes.
learn, to know other perspectives and have that bird's eye view of different things which are happening. That
Yeah.
learning approach is very important. Now, post COVID, the face-to-face connections or
Yeah.
the face-to-face, the way you had a conversation on airport, that's become a challenge for everybody. So, what can we do to get ourselves off the devices? Because every time if we are at a restaurant or at a family function or anything, everybody is on a phone or something. Why is it so important to have those conversations and communication between a man, a woman, or the close circle what you have? Why it is so important right now in today's day and age to be that?
I'll start the answer by asking you a question. Okay?
Yes.
How
Yes.
are you doing? If I ask you how are you doing, what will be your answer be?
I'm doing good. I'm okay.
90% of
Yeah.
people will move on from this and be like, हाँ चलो ना आज हम shooting करें. Are you good with the content? We'll move out. No one will ever take an effort to sit with you and be like, how are you doing? And if the answer is I am good, they will ask you again like, no, genuinely how are you doing? No one does that. No one has time to ask you and say like, how are you doing?
Yeah.
People ask that as a formality because they have a question, next question that they want to ask, but they just can't ask you that question.
Correct.
No one will ever sit in there and listen to you. That's the reason why this connection is getting so depleted, because no one is genuinely willing to listen to the other person. Everyone is in a hurry to tell you something. Everyone is in a hurry to tell you what my story looks like. Everyone is in a hurry to tell you कि अरे मी कितनी भारी है कि माँ there is so much happening in my life.
Yeah.
Have you ever given it a time that you've been patient enough to listen to someone? And we all do that as an individual human being,
Yeah,
right? I'm
yeah.
not blaming you or me or anyone who's watching this saying like you have never done this. It all starts from a place कि like कि when you ask someone like how are you doing, genuinely ask that question. पूछने के लिए मत पूछो. Sit with that person,
Yeah.
go through it. And the second thing I believe in this connection of human age, right, is we do a mistake of judging the conversations on the quantity of it.
Correct. Yeah.
की मी माझ्या बेस्ट फ्रेंडशी और दिवसातनं 7 वेळा बोलतो और आय स्पीक विथ माय बेस्ट फ्रेंड 10 times a day.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything until and unless you have a meaningful conversation with
Conversation
them.
with them.
My best friend since 2005, he's in Germany right now. Okay, what you spoke about phone is also the same thing that connects me with that friend, right?
Correct.
He's in Germany. We both like literally tell each other saying like, "Hey, I need to talk to you. Give me 5 minutes." He's that one friend of mine जो मुझे पता है कि he will reply to my message and be like, "Yash, I have time from 5 to 8.
हाँ,
Do you want to do a call?"
yeah.
And I'll be like, "Yes, let's do that call." Then for the next 2 hours, right, it's just me and him who's talking.
Talking about
we are not getting worried about ki what's happening outside in the world. We are not getting worried about ki अरे मला पुढची 2 कामं करायची. We will give that quality time. That conversation might happen once in a month only because we have that limited time. But that conversation is genuinely quality conversation. It's not about ki like I speak with a person 10 times a day, that person will know everything about me, because that bond has not formed yet. It takes time to form that bond, and it takes time to nourish that bond. So it's not the quantity of the conversations, the quality of the conversations. And second thing that I believe is it's how much are you willing to listen to other people.
Correct.
And if you are not in that mind space, now like there are days when I don't want to listen to someone's sad story. I am already having enough my own day. That day I will not ask how are you doing. Like today when I came, I didn't ask you how are you doing, because I've already had a very tough day. So I was like, I am not going to do an injustice by asking saying like how are you doing, and you will start telling me and be like, bas, आता मी नाही ऐकू शकत हिला, and I will move out of the conversation. I will choose not to ask that question because I am not in that space today that I can listen to someone speak. But next time I meet you, I might probably ask you how are you doing, and मी म्हणलं की आता बस तू शेजारी, मी 10 तास बोल, जितकं रड मी ऐकेल तुला. पण मी तेव्हाच विचारेल जेव्हा मी ऐकायच्या कॅपॅसिटीज आहे. So don't just do it for the sake of doing it. Do it when you genuinely want to listen to someone.
But that communication is so important that, you know, when you're communicating that I'm not in the headspace, but I will give you time on that particular. So that is also
very important.
Sort of missing, and then there's so much of miscommunication. And the point which you made, that it's not the number of times you connect with somebody, but that specific hour from like months. I kind of connect with that, because there are few friends of mine that I might just not talk to them for 2 months or something, but when we have that conversation, we'll just talk for 2 hours, and then I get the boost of energy or anything for the coming 2-3 months. And that conversation can be on phone or in person.
It doesn't matter where it is, na. Like I can't go to Germany every single time I feel like talking to him.
That'll be fun.
But I'm not climate friendly in the current Gen Z's perspective.
Yeah. So how to create that safe space and environment for somebody to just, you know, let their guard down and talk about it? Because now I also feel that in young people there is mistrust. You know, the patience which we require is missing or something. So how do you create that safe space for the thoughts to just flood in, or, you know, to believe?
See, I think so safe space is difficult to create. It's not an easy thing that you create, and it's not something to create within a day. It's going to take a lot of time to build that space. But that will only happen if you're not judgmental about it.
Correct.
Like, आपणच खूप वेळा बऱ्याच लोकांना जज करतो. Like we will judge someone. So for example, I'll judge someone की अरे receding headline है. So tomorrow I'm judging him for that. I am very confident about my hair probably, but I'll be very worried if I'm wearing a pink color t-shirt because someone will judge me. The reason why you are worried that someone will judge you is because you yourself are judging someone in the first place. When you start having that battle, right, you will stop having that trust that is created. That will stop having that safe space that you're trying to create. Safe space, what is safe space primarily? Safe space is some space where you can go and talk freely about what you're going through.
Correct.
The way you can talk freely about what you're going through is when you know the other person is not going to judge you or misuse this information. Primary element of judgment will come because you judge someone else.
That's true.
Trust will come with the time and bond. So tomorrow my best friend, I know की तो जग इकडं तिकडं होईल, पण तो मी जे त्याला बोलतोय ते कोणाला सांगणार नाहीये. So that trust is there. But will he judge me for if I tell him that I am crying at 3 o'clock in the morning? If the answer is yes, I'll never open up to him. But if I know that he's not going to judge me, I will tell him what I'm going through. So removing the amount of judgment that you have towards others will help you create a safe space for yourself and for others as well. So there's a very beautiful quote from this show that I watched, Ted Lasso. And that quote ka origin is from somewhere else only, I don't remember where it's. Be judgmental, be curious, not judgmental. Like it's so beautiful, you be curious about what's happening. Don't be judgmental about what's happening, because that's where we do the harm. If you're curious about why are you not feeling well, or why is your mental health not well, it's a nice thing to have. But if you're judging, ओ तुझ्याकडे तर खूप पैसा आहे पण तुला काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे याच्या सगळ्यासाठी और
then that's
हां तुझ्या आयुष्यात सगळं ठीक चाललंय
Yeah.
मग मी का दॅट्स जजमेंट कमिंग इन टू द
Correct.
पिक्चर
आणि तिथे पण असं पण होतं की लाईक वेन यू आर ऑन इंस्टाग्राम ओ दिस मस्ट बी परफेक्ट लाईक
Yeah.
अल्ट्रा लक्झुरियस लाईफ दॅट पर्सन इज लिव्हिंग नोबडी नोज व्हॉट्स गोइंग
Behind
बिहाइंड
it.
दॅट या
there's a lot. You are only showcasing the best moments of your life. No one is showing the worst moment of your life.
Exactly.
And that's there on everything. So judging someone is the easiest thing to do.
या
It takes a lot of time not to judge anyone. And it doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't
Yeah.
happen in two. I still am at a place where I do judge people. नाही होत माझ्याकडनं मग जजमेंट डोक्यात येतीच ती बिकॉज शिकवलंय का ते लहानपणापासून कुठेतरी आहे ना ट्रेंड आहे आपल्या डोक्यात की जज करायचं असतं की अरे ही तर अशी आहे तो तर तसा आहे बट इज इट अफेक्टिंग युअर ओपिनियन इज इट अफेक्टिंग द पर्सन दॅट युअर विथ इफ द आन्सर इज येस देन ट्राय टू वर्क ऑन टू इट
या
देन क्रिएट अ सेफ स्पेस फॉर युअर सेल्फ
And I think there is also a phenomena where we are judging ourselves before anybody judges anybody. So, like, what is toxic masculinity for you?
I will avoid talking about toxic masculinity. Be a good person, yeah.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. If you're a nice human being, if you're a good individual, I think so, you will be a good person.
Correct.
We put in a lot of effort in talking about what is negative in the world.
Correct.
We put in a lot of effort in saying कि अरे हे खराब है, अरे ते खराब है, अरे हा माणूस खराब है, अरे तो माणूस खराब है. How many times have we taken an effort to appreciate someone?
True.
We never do that.
Yeah.
It's म्हणजे like I make an habit like when you order like take an example when you order a food in a restaurant,
Yeah.
right? If the food is bad, you will make it a point to tell the chef कि like listen the
Put
food
a
is
review.
put a review. How many times have you put a review saying कि like अरे क्या खाना मंगाया था?
Yeah. That's nice.
I make it an point like if I had a good food, I will call the chef and I tell him कि like sir आपने जो खाना बनाया ना आज वो बहुत सही है. The reason I'm talking about this is because the more focus you have on the negativity, the less focus will go on the positivity.
Yeah.
The less focus will go on the. I will say, what is it to be a good man today? What is it to be a good human being today?
Correct.
Is a bigger important conversation than what is toxic masculinity.
Yeah. And also, with the recent Be a Man Yaar series, there was some beautiful quotes
Yes.
put out by amazing people, and they just opened up about what being a man truly is. So, can you give us some experiences about that?
One of my favorite thing is what Zakir said. Is saying कि like जब आप एक औरत को औरत के नज़रिए से और एक मर्द को मर्द के नज़रिए से देखना भूल जाओगे और उनको एक इंसान करके देखोगे ना आपकी ज़िंदगी के आधे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगी. Said something very beautiful along these lines. Or even when Nasir sir spoke about what it is to have being a man in his generation. Like Nasir sir speaking about masculinity, Nasir sir speaking about patriarchy and feminism and equality is just beautiful.
Yeah.
Or how Sushant came out to his father and his father accepting who she is and who he is right now
That
is
was
just
incredible.
heartbreaking. Yeah. Because these stories are not out there. The whole reason why we shot this series Be a Man Yaar is to have a model of saying like what is it to be like a modern day man. There's a lot of conversation about what not to be, but is there a conversation about what can be? And that was the whole idea about why we started this show.
Conversation took me back to one of the interviews I took in rural Maharashtra with an entrepreneur called Divya Prabha. And I asked her the same question, that what does it mean for you when it comes to equality in men and women, and how is it like for both of you? I was thinking that she will start with an angle where, you know, like, oh, for men it's already established because they have the backing of family.
Yeah.
This is something which I must have pre-assumed that this must be her answer. But surprisingly, what she told me was, do you know a thing that for women it is like it's decided that she'll get married or she will do a job. Now it's changing in villages.
Yeah.
And but do you realize that for a man, at the age of 25, for him to get approval of the woman or her family, he has to be earning.
Yes.
He has to have some sum of salary or some sum of funding of himself beyond his family. to even be accepted in that. So I was absolutely, she opened my eyes to a lot of perspectives coming from rural India and being so vocal about that. She said that no, this is where they also face problem, and this is my problem, that I am not getting opportunity for entrepreneurship. I do have opportunities for job. So that open mindset is so important for men and women to adapt. So this is something. Do you have any thoughts about
Yeah,
this?
like we all say, see, I think so a larger problem lies with the patriarchy in the society, right? The concept of being the head of the house or
Yeah.
being the man of the house is so strongly put into you that it affects you. And what she said was very true, right? Your self-worth is attached to how much you earn, which is not the case, or which shouldn't be the case. When I'm saying about feminism or equality, right, it helps men as well. Like, giving my personal example, me and my wife had a very clear conversation saying like, hey, we both believe in equality, which means that today I can go in the kitchen and I can cook an entire
Correct.
full meal. She can go to work and earn a stable paycheck. Tomorrow, if I decide that I'm going to take a career break, my partner Yuganti has the capacity to run the entire house on the salary that she makes.
Correct.
I have the capacity to take a break, be in the house and be a house manager where I'm managing the whole house. I'm taking care of the whole house.
Yeah.
It's not a gender thing. Till this point, it was a gender thing. घर संभालना औरत
Was a gender thing, yeah.
was a औरत की responsibility. पैसे लाना was a man's responsibility. With gender equality, both of these are both the gender's responsibility.
Correct,
It's
yeah.
not a gendered thing. And this is very deep seated into us. It's very deep seated into our customs, it's deep seated into the traditions that we have. We need to raise our basic standards of what it is to be an equal human beings,
Correct.
and then work beyond it.
Yeah.
Right now, the standards are only extremely low.
Yeah, yeah. I think the West has that culture because I've seen my sister and Jiju living in London, and the same sort of thing, that he loves cooking, and both are architects. They have their day jobs, and they do have a kid, and then they raise that equally. Like he will take days off to be with the kid, she will take days off, and that equality I see a lot in the West. And I think that mindset is also maybe slowly building with the right kind of examples. And you have also started documenting that.
Yes.
You do all of these Men Ki Baat, and I have seen your Instagram also, where you put these tiny bits and pieces of slice of life
Yeah.
into the reality of what it is.
I had this massive fight with my grandmom, and my grandmom was scandalized by that fight. I was wearing boxers in my house and chilling,
Yeah.
and my grandmom very casually said, "Na ki my sister should not, my cousin sister should not wear this in the house." And she's like, she's commenting how she was wearing boxers. I'm like, why are you saying ki, like, me sitting in a man in a boxer is okay,
Yeah.
but my sister sitting in a
Yeah.
boxer is not okay?
Yeah.
And she didn't have an answer. She's like, no, that's not right. I'm like, Ajji,
Yeah.
like, her legs are waxed. She has at least beautiful legs. Look at my hairy legs. They don't even look pleasing to the eye. Why are you saying this is okay? तिचे at least दिसायला तरी चांगले आहेत. मला किती घाणेल. I'm like, look at them. Like, are they worth watching?
Yeah.
No, but you still don't have a problem with
That
it.
conversation is amazing. I
my-
never thought of it in this way.
Yeah. I'm like, why? अरे तिची तर सुंदर आहेत दिसायला. I'm like, की मस्त तिने एवढी मेहनत करून वॅक्स केलेत. मी तर बॉक्सेस असे तसेच गच्चा दिसतायत ते. How are you okay
Yeah.
seeing my dirty legs and not her legs?
Yeah.
And she's like, अरे लोक कशी बघतील? I'm
Yeah.
like, the problem is local. How are they viewing my sister's legs? There's a problem with them.
Yes.
It's not a problem with what my sister
Yeah.
wears. She took a lot of time to get convinced, but now I also give a lot of effort back to them because they come from a very different generation, right?
Correct. Yeah.
She has taken that effort to learn. She has taken that effort to be okay
Yeah.
with all of this, and now she's somewhere fine. The reason I was doing this battle also in the start of it was not someone asked me to do it, because I knew tomorrow when my partner comes into my house, I don't want her to feel uncomfortable when she's wearing something
Yeah.
in the house. It's her house.
Yes.
She has the right. And that means also, and this is what my mother told me, which is very beautiful, where she's like, "Ki, you can't dictate her to wear shorts because you think you have won the fight by creating your ajji. Nor can you tell her to wear a full pant."
Yeah.
The understanding of feminism is it's her choice of what she wears. You can't dictate it. You can't think you're a modern man because you're forcing your wife to wear a short clothes when she is uncomfortable, saying कि like हम तो modern है, हम तो मेरी wife तो short कपड़े पहनती है. Does your wife want to wear short clothes? Is the question that you need to answer. If she wears, then let it be her choice.
Yes.
A larger notion is कि like we forget the choice. We forget that it's their choice. We have an inclination or a habit of putting it as a judgment or putting it as a कि hey तुमने करना ही चाहिए. कि it's not cool also ना कि like how is it modern to force a girl to wear short clothes because short clothes are considered modern. It's still orthodox. It's still rudimentary.
Yes.
But just because it's a modern piece of clothing doesn't mean your mindset is modern.
True.
It's the mindset of giving the choice for each and every gender to do what they want to do.
Absolutely, that's beautiful. And you know, while doing this, you also do a lot of initiatives around colleges. You imbibe upon putting these thoughts and these perspectives over there. What is the impact of that which you've seen, or are there any experiences which you can share from those journeys what you've made?
I think so. The reason why I go back to colleges is also from my own experience. I wish I had someone in my college who could explain me these things, who could explain me these concepts, right? And the second thing the reason I go to is because as I said in the start, there's no one to listen to these young people. In the age and day of internet where everyone is in the space of comparing and putting out their opinions, there's no one to listen to these young kids. I have personally visited more than 60 colleges at this point, 50ish to 60 colleges. With Yuva has visited more than 1000 plus colleges, and the amount of insights that we have from them are at different spectrums, right? You go and speak to a boy in Bandra versus you go and speak to a boy in Thane. The difference is there. It's the same Bombay as a city, but a Sobo boy versus a Thane boy, the concepts are very different. The way you move it from a Delhi to a Pune, it's very different. The whole landscape of India is very different in terms of what they are. What we say is it's on a spectrum. The problem might be mental health, but it be on a different spectrum of where it is coming from. A spectrum about what the issue is or the seriousness of the issue is depending upon where you are coming from. I have multiple beautiful stories of young people talking about who they are on these events, on these occasions. I have heard heartbreaking stories where I have cried, where I have had tears in my eyes when I was listening to these stories. We have had people who have experienced the concept of safe space for the first time and come out from the closet to the audience for the first time because they felt safe. It's a fantastic feeling to go through where someone is putting so much trust into you on the day one where they're meeting you. I keep on saying this thing ki we live in a world where earlier used to be compared to one Sharma ji ka ladka.
Now there is like
hundreds of Sharma ji ka ladka. Not only Sharma ji ka ladka, Clifton from England is also you going to be compared with him because कि उन्होंने देखा है कि इंटरनेट पे क्या चल रहा है. So parents are going to be like कि तुम्हें पता है not शर्मा जी का लड़का but वो क्लिफ्टन जो लंदन में पढ़ रहा है वो भी ये कर रहा है, तुम अपनी जिंदगी में क्या कर रहे हो. And you need spaces for these kids where you can help, and I have gotten this connection from these kids which has been very helpful for me.
That's I mean like a little shocking, and what I feel is that with these conversations people are going to be opening up and talking about it, because you know otherwise you break down from inside and then you can't focus on your career, you can't focus on the things you would like to work on. So moving forward, what do you think is required in like marriage sort of situations where there is women who are into this space where, you know, like you spoke about feminism, there can be like active feminism also?
I think so, more than women or men, like as I said earlier, it's not about a particular gender doing something, it's about both genders uplifting each other. It's about both genders getting to a space where they both feel equal. I think so, and again this is also very wrong on my part, but women need to hold men to a better and to a higher standard. As I said, celebrating normal things shouldn't be done. You should not be celebrated because you can make chai. You should not be celebrated for being someone who doesn't do domestic violence. It's not a celebration. It's not a celebratory thing. You should not be celebrated for doing common human practices. And we as men need to be held to a very higher standard because patriarchy has given us a comfort. Patriarchy has given us a pedestal on which we are on. Men need to leave that pedestal
And then
and come on the same ground, and women should not put us on the pedestal.
correct, yeah,
Same
because
thing.
that has to be equal.
Equal.
Huh.
It's an equal ground.
Yes.
Men should not pull us down.
Yeah.
We should come down on
Correct.
our own. We should not push women down. We should pick them up, and we should come at an equal platform.
Correct.
Building an equal platform is very important.
True.
It's not a war against two gender.
Yeah.
It's about creating a space for not only two, for all genders,
genders to be
which
there. Yeah.
are living harmoniously in one
Yeah.
situation.
When it comes to gender, or when it comes to men crying, or when it comes to showing your vulnerability, I just pronounce it
Vulnerability.
vulnerability.
It happens to me always.
Yeah, vulnerability. So it is often perceived to be a weakness. Even in leadership, even if I'm working in a corporate setup, it's said now, no, show a strong face. Don't show your problems to your colleagues. Don't show problems to anybody, because that's going to put you into a very wrong spot. What do you want to talk about that?
I don't think so. We should be allowed to show emotions.
Yeah.
Let's start from there, right? We should be allowed to show emotions, even if it's crying, even if it's being angry. All emotions are valid.
Yeah.
There's a certain time and space where you need to show them, which is fair and true. Again, वही सेम प्रॉब्लम है जेंडर और इमोशंस को हमने एक साथ लगा दिया कि औरतें रोती है, मर्द गुस्सा करते हैं.
हाँ.
इज वेरी क्लियर बाइफर्केशन.
हाँ.
क्यों, किसने किया,
Like,
पता
पर
नहीं.
औरतें भी गुस्सा करती हैं.
हाँ, बट मर्द भी रो सकते हैं ना. वही तो पॉइंट है कि किसी जेंडर का कोई इमोशन नहीं है.
Yeah.
इमोशन सबका है. हमने बांटा हुआ है.
हाँ.
हमने बंटवारा किया कि औरतों को दुख मिला है, मर्दों को सुख मिला है. लाइक ये हमारा डिसीजन है. वी हैव मेड दिस बंटवारा ऑफ इमोशंस द वे वी हैव मेड बंटवारा ऑफ कलर्स, वी हैव मेड बंटवारा ऑफ एवरीथिंग.
Yeah.
Remove that. Beautiful thing about crying is it makes you free, and it's so fun. And then I just remembered, my father is not very happy with crying. Okay, and as I said, raised by women, I'm very comfortable crying. You put on a movie, there's a sad scene, मैं रो देगा, मैं फटाक से रो देगा, and my father would get uncomfortable. He'll be like, yeah, she's crying. He would start like he has this very typical Marathi dialogue, and please comment if you have heard this, which is भरलेल्या घरात रडू नका, which means if you have a full house, right, do not cry in it because it's not a good sign of prosperity.
Yeah.
I get where he comes from, but why is crying a sad thing?
Yes.
No one knows. It's showcase of emotions, right? You cry when you feel certain things. You cry when you're hurt. When you cry when you're sad. You want to let that to be expressed. My father gets massively uncomfortable when I cry, and he doesn't say कि तो लड़का इसलिए रो मत. He's like, in general तुम रो मत. Like he'll tell my mother also, you don't cry. We are in a good happy house. भगवान का दिया सब कुछ है हमारे पास, तुम रो क्यों रहे? Is his whole zone.
Yeah.
The funniest thing happened is last week Yuganti and I were in our house, and there was something happened and Yuganti was emotional. Yuganti started crying.
Yeah.
Because Yuganti was crying, my father did a very beautiful thing which I appreciate him for. He's like, it's okay beta, you can cry. And I was so surprised to see that from my father, thinking like it's okay beta to cry. Because all these years he's seen me crying, and I've told him it's okay to cry. Suddenly today when he's seen Yuganti crying, he's gotten that emotion. It's okay to cry, and he's accepting it and showcasing it going ahead. It was so beautiful to see my father accepting crying. It's just we accepting normal things there. Like it's okay for men to cry, should be a fine thing. It's okay for women to be angry, should be a fine thing. And it's okay for human beings to show emotions, should be a fine thing.
And then also it is okay for women to sometimes keep that mask off of being strong and just let go of because sometimes it's like there's so much of compilation and trauma that they just hide away because they have so many responsibilities. I want to ask you a very interesting question. What is your perspective and what do you admire most about Gen Zs and the way they are taking up these issues and perspectives, and what message you would like to give to the parents also?
Gen Zs, the best thing I like about them they know how to draw boundaries and they know how to say no.
Yeah.
Our generation never learned to say no. Tomorrow if my boss says कि जा मेरे लिए चाय लेके आ, मैं जाके लेके आऊँगा. I will never question it if it's my KRA or if it's I'm allowed to do. As internships, I've gone and gotten coffees from my bosses. Today, a Gen Z intern will straight away look dead in your eyes and say, no sir, this is not my KRA. And it's a beautiful thing that this generation has learned. They know their boundaries, they respect their spaces. My advice to parents is, this generation is born on internet, right? You yourself have handed them phones, you yourself have given them iPads and tablets, which has given them access and information to the entire world.
Correct.
We need to accept there is a chance and place that they might know better than us. Like, it's not like हमको सब कुछ पता है because हमने इतना देखा है. These kids have a lot more access to information. These kids have a lot more knowledge. So it's okay if they know better than you. There is not a race कि किसको ज़्यादा पता है.
Absolutely.
The generation might have a lot more knowledge. You might have a lot more life experience. Learn to coexist.
Yes. That's beautiful thing because a lot of times now a lot of pressure is put on the Gen Zs or ये ऐसे ही करता है वैसे ही करता है, but a lot of things happen because of the parents also, and there is a the gap between understanding.
Yeah.
The way you said about the Sharma ji ka beta.
I think Generation Z is the most misunderstood and the most labeled generation ever. उनको हमने बहुत सारे label लगा दिए हैं. We have labeled them to be narcissists. We have labeled them to be arrogant. We have labeled them to be climate warriors. Not every Gen Z is a climate warrior. Not every Gen Z is self-obsessed. Not every Gen Z is a content creator. Gen Z is a very large term.
Correct.
Every Gen Z is different. We have this research report where I did a research work on saying something, not all Gen Zs, which is basically a term. Again, some marketer in some company have decided to term them Gen Z.
Correct.
And we have labeled them under everything. We have decided all Gen Zs are content creator. नहीं, सारे Gen Zs content creator नहीं है. हर Gen Z अलग है. उनको वो respect दो, उनको वो label से हटा दो. It will be a lot better for them. And they are extremely misunderstood because they are doing something different that not every generation has done. So it's not the same.
Yeah. That's amazing. Now, one last question is that what is that one taboo about mental health you'd like to burst?
Talk about it. It's okay to talk about mental health. I'll tell a small story over here, right? The reason why I started going for for my therapy is because I used to get panic attacks and anxiety attacks in meetings, in workspaces. I used to feel that I'm going to throw up on a meeting table. I used to have massive palpitation. I used to sweat. If you look at me at that point of time, I was one of the best shape of my career. I had done my MBA. I was working as Google strategist for one of the biggest companies in India. I had good amount of money that was coming into my account. So technically, मेरे को mental health issues होने का कोई point ही नहीं था. Like मेरे life में सब कुछ सही चल रहा है, फिर मेरी mental health क्यों खराब है? My mental health was bad because of my own reasons, because of what I was going through at that time, because of the pressure that I was in. So I had built anxiety.
Correct.
I went to therapy. It started helping me. The first time I told my father, right, yeah, I'm going to therapy, he looked at me straight dead and like, "Tu veda tar nahi vatattis mala." Like, translating is like, I don't think you're mad enough. And I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not mad. I know I'm not having this thing. I am having mental health issues. I had to sit down and explain to him. He took a lot of time to understand what I was going through. But the beauty about me having a conversation about mental health with my father is, today he goes and recommends kids and parents in their society saying like, Yash, he has gone for mental health, it has helped him, therapy has helped him, probably it might help your son or daughter also. And because it's coming from my father, who is an aged man, right? And he's telling to another aged man, the perception is very fast. They're like, हाँ, reciprocations आ रहा है कि मैं मेरे बच्चे को therapy भेजूंगा. Then uncle will randomly call me one day saying like, Yash, therapist का number भेज. And I'm like, किसको चाहिए? कौन है? क्या है? मेरे को बोलो, because there are different things that I have to know before which therapist I recommend to you. But they're like, नहीं, मेरे बेटे को चाहिए. I'm like, ठीक है. Then I know if it's for a younger kid who I have to send, if it's for an older person who I have to send, etc. But if we start talking about mental health in our day-to-day conversations, right, half the things will be normalized, half the taboos would go. And the way we have doctors for physical health, right, is the same thing for mental health.
Absolutely.
Udaya, if you if you have broken your arm, right,
You're
you
going
will
to-
not be
yeah.
like, "Kimi ghari basto and to theek hui." Like, you're not going to put a bandage onto it,
Yeah.
or you're going to your best
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
and be like, "Best friend, I trust you enough. Can
Yeah.
you heal my
Yes,
broken arm?"
yes.
The best friend will like, "Bro, I don't know how to do this. Like, this is broken. Like, to the
Yeah.
hard this istemal nahi hoti." Same thing is with mental health. If
Yeah.
you're going through something serious, your best
You
friend
must
can't
go.
fix it because your best friend is not trained for it. You need to go to a professional,
yeah.
which is a therapist.
Yeah, and this, when you were explaining about your situation, I also remember the first episode of Coffee with Karan, where he spoke about Deepika, Ranveer,
Yeah.
and Karan. So Karan spoke about when he was at NMACC.
Yeah.
And then he had this episode where he was just, he was getting sweats and he was into this anxiety attack, and he was at the top of his
Yeah.
career and he'd given big hits, and still he was facing that, and he said, "I don't know what's happening to me." And he left that NMACC,
Yeah.
the whole global event which was happening, and he spoke so vocally about it. I love how Ranveer spoke about it.
Yes.
Deepika spoke about it.
Like, it's very important for these people to have these conversations. I've been blessed enough in my career that I've met Karan once or twice in my life, right? And he's an amazing individual when you meet him. He's just a sweet person.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a very sweet, kind, caring person. Funny thing is, like, I'm like, to Karan Johar, me meeting him, he might have met 100 people like me, but he took an effort to drop me out his office. He was there till the lift came. He said bye to me and gave me a hug. He didn't need to do that for me.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's the individual human being he is. That he's
Correct.
just such a sweet, nice,
Yeah,
kind person that he'll do it. The next time I met him, he recognized me from the thing. Like, "Hey, Yash, you're there, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's so sweet. And when he speaks about it on a platform like Coffee with Karan, right, there are thousands of people watching it who suddenly feel normal.
But that's so beautiful, and thank you for opening up about all of these things. I just loved and I learned so much about being just vocal, because sometimes I ask that strong woman thing, because sometimes I also have to get into that facade of being strong, but this opened a lot of mindsets and thought processes.
Thank you for getting me. Like, I've heard of the amount of speakers that you have on your this thing, and there are some really incredible ones. So I feel privileged that I have gotten a chance to be in this and be a part of this. And you have been an amazing host. And I think so. What I love about you is the capacity that you have to unlearn, right? Like, you are willing to unlearn something that you have, and you are extremely aware about the privilege that you have, which is such a rare thing in this world. We had a conversation inside about privilege, right? No one even knows what privilege they have. You have created a platform on which these conversations are happening, and millions of people are going to watch it, and that's all thanks to you for creating this space where I could open up, where I could talk about. Because I've been on the other end where I'm asking questions, and I know how difficult it is to prepare and create a space where the other person feels comfortable. So thank you for creating this space, and thank you for making me so comfortable.
Beautiful. But there is another fun session which I'm going to be having with you, and that's called as the rapid fire, inspired by Karan Johar.
Do I get a hamper? Is my question.
There's going to be an
Yes,
hamper.
then I'm
for sure.
going to give a good amount
And
of
that
answers.
hamper is going to be delivered at your house.
Done.
It's going to be a custom hamper which we are thinking of.
I'm very excited for this. I hope the Janta gives me good ratings,
Yeah.
and I win the best rapid
Yes.
fire of this season.
So the first question is, what is the most unusual talent you have?
I have random pieces of information lying around in my brain which are absolutely useless otherwise.
Like,
The first shoe made by Nike was named Waffle, because Nike actually, the owner of Nike, Philip, he took a waffle maker
Yeah.
to create a shoe ka
Yeah.
base in a waffle maker, because he wanted to run on the track, and that's
Okay.
why a lot of Nike shoes who have this
Yeah.
square design are known as waffle shoes.
I don't know. about
See, exactly. Random piece of information is there in Yash's brain. No one has an understanding about it, but it will just be lying around.
Yeah. One actress you'd like to be in this,
Deepika.
Deepika.
So good shit.
Swap lives with one of the celebrities.
SRK, yaar. Like, I want to feel
take
that
up your-
charisma and charm for one day in my life. That man, he's just so beautiful. Or Anil Kapoor today.
Yeah.
I am crushing on Anil Kapoor like no one's business right now. in Fighter, everyone is talking about Hrithik Roshan,
Yeah.
but Anil Kapoor
Yes.
has never looked so hot. Like he's looked hot in Night Manager.
Yeah.
Like सब आदित्य रॉय कपूर की बात कर रहे
हाँ,
हैं,
बस.
मैं अनिल कपूर. I'm like he's the thirst trap in Night Manager. People, come on.
Which two actresses you would like to be stuck on an island?
If I was not married, because Yuganti will kill me after this answer, I would love to be with Scarlett Johansson and Aishwarya Rai.
Oh, that's amazing. One irrational fear you have.
Imposter syndrome. I think one day the world is going to know that I am a fake person and they are just going to cancel me, and what I've achieved in my life is just by a chance and there is nothing that I deserve. Like I always have this imposter syndrome. Like
Yeah.
even before I came for this episode, I'm like, have I achieved anything to be on this episode? मैं कौन हूँ? Like I will.
We were having that imposter syndrome before you came. Have we done enough to have you on board today? Because
I randomly it will start and I go in the spiral about मैं कौन हूँ, मैं क्या हूँ, मैं ऐसा क्यों हूँ, and I'll be just like, it's not an irrational fear at this point, it's just that irrational spiral that I will go into saying like मैं imposter हूँ
I think
करके.
because of me, my entire team is having imposter syndrome. Because once we have a conversation, we are like, who did we just interview? Do we deserve this thing? Did we do right? Yeah. So define yourself in one line. Who is Yash?
I have this great quote by Casey Neistat, which genuinely defines me, which is saying, if it's broken, fix it. If you don't like it, change it. If you want something, take it. Don't complain about it, do something about it. Which is just so fantastic. Like it's there everywhere. It's on my wallpaper, it's on my laptop, it's there everything, because you can't just sit in one place and crib about saying कि अरे ये ऐसा क्यों है, until and unless you don't get up and say I'm going to change it tomorrow.
True.
Nothing is going to change.
But that's a amazing unfiltered conversation today, and thank you for giving your time. Learned so much and going to be adapting that in the life. And thank you for tuning in to this episode, and we'll be having more fun. I hope we have a version 2 of this
Yes.
because